is concerned, whether he is celebrating the elector or the king's name day, or is praising God, it is done from with a very hierarchical social point of view, with him as the servant of either the Christian God or the secular Lord on earth. I don't by that mean that Bach invested a sort of religious aura to his worldly leader in any sense at all, but that ceremonial music was ceremonial music, and was based on dance, pulse, and based on the capacity of the instruments that he had at his disposal to sound at their best, hence the use of D major as the natural trumpet key, and in Bach's day, natural trumpets were capable of scaling the heights in terms of the tessitura and the stratosphere. And of course it's the key in which the strings resonate the most, so it has the most opulent sound to it of any key, and that applies to secular or sacred. It doesn't matter.
Bach stayed at Weimar for 9 years, but when he was denied the position of Kapellmeister, the musical director responsible for all court music, he sought a post elsewhere. Impatient to leave, he asked for release from his duties at Weimar in a manner so antagonistic that the Duke had him imprisoned for a month for too stubbornly forcing the issue of his own discharge. In 1717, at the age of 32, he moved to the princely court at Curtin as musical director. Here Bach was concerned chiefly with chamber and orchestral music, and once described the years at Curtin as the happiest in his life. It was here that he revolutionized the development of keyboard music with his composition of the Well-Tempered Clavier, a collection of 24 preludes and fugues written, as he inscribed on the title page, for the profit of the musical youth desirous of learning.
The Well-Tempered Clavier was written in response to a change in tuning. What had happened up until this time was that the keyboards were tuned precisely in thirds and fifths, which meant that they were marvellous as long as you were playing in a very limited range of keys. And if you look at early works by William Byrd, for example, most of them seem to be in C major, and they make up for this by having fantastic variations. What happened with well-tempered tuning was it was essentially a compromise. You tune in octaves, and in between the octave you would divide into 12 semitones, which meant that nothing was exactly right, but it was bearable to play in every single key for the first time. And so Bach set about this fantastically ambitious scheme of writing preludes and fugues in every single key. which I don't think had ever been done before. It meant that you, instead of just writing in C major or C minor, G major or G minor, you were suddenly writing in keys as obscure as E flat minor or B flat minor. I mean, this is really new. So he started with the first book with the C major prelude, and then he moved from that to C minor. So you'd have, and then he would move up to a really new key, C sharp major. You know, so you were going step by step, up, 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 and writing fugues also in all these keys.
Mozart and Beethoven and Chopin and Schumann, they played this music every day. And much later, Bartók and Pablo Casals too. And it is, as they said, the Old Testament of music. And I feel very much the same. I play the well-tempered clavier every day of my life. Just 2 or 4 or 6 preludes and fugues every day, different ones. And it's a wonderful way to start the day. It's like taking a shower and cleansing yourself. It's something so pure to the spirit and the soul, and even physically I don't have to do stupid pianistic exercises which are a waste of time, because this gives you all the sensation of movements when you play a movement like it gives you all the feeling of dexterity, and you feel like dancing and bouncing, and you are happy to be alive.
The bass of Bach are fantastic. If you take the Eliot G string, it's very simple, but it is already jazzy, because you have the bass coming up and down, and there is a singing bass. It's not only a bass which plays the bass note. This is singing. If you forget about the theme of the Eliot G string, you have the bass. You have